What's going on, NFL fans? Welcome back to Touchdown Kingdom, your hub for the freshest NFL updates and insights. If you love what we're doing here, show us some support by hitting that like button, dropping your predictions in the comments, and subscribing to the channel. We're committed to bringing you engaging content like this on a regular basis. Today we're spotlighting the AFC North, a division known for its hard-hitting rivalries and dramatic games. Last season was a roller coaster for this division, with the teams going neck and neck the whole way through. The Bengals were the clear best team in the division, but every team was good competition and are looking to make it to the playoffs and make a bigger splash in the AFC this year. As we move into this new season, we'll delve into the off-season moves of each team and provide an overview of their squads before unveiling our predicted records at the end of the video. First on our list today, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers made some significant moves this offseason, shaking up their roster with new players added through trades, free agency, and the draft. Last season, the Steelers started out the season pretty rough, but ended the season great in order to keep Mike Tomlin's winning season streak alive by ending the season 9-8. In free agency, it seems that they gained more than they lost, as their three biggest losses were cornerback Cam Sutton, former top 10 pick linebacker Devin Bush, and Terrell Edmunds. While they greatly upgraded the interior offensive line with guards Isaac Sumlo and Nate Herbig, signed former star receiver Allen Robinson as a depth piece, signed linebackers Cole Holcombs, Alandon Roberts, and Quan Alexander, and DBs Keanu Neal and Pat Peterson, where they improved greatly was the draft, nailing pretty much every pick in positions of need that will be instant contributors. In the first round, they got tackle Broderick Jones out of Georgia by trading up to 14 to get in front of the Jets, and they traded up to the first pick in the second round to get son of former Steelers legend Joey Porter Jr., a cornerback out of Penn State. Porter Jr. was always mocked around that Steelers first pick of 17, so getting him in the second round is a steal. They followed this up by drafting interior D lineman Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin, and in the fourth round, drafting his teammate Nick Herbig to help the pass rush. In the third round, they got a massive steal in 6'7" tight end Darnell Washington out of Georgia, who is easily the best blocking tight end in the draft, with a massive receiving upside because of his large frame and athleticism. They also got Corey Trice in the sixth round out of Purdue, who has potential to be a great rotational corner. With a positive offseason and such a great draft, the Steelers look to compete within the division and make a push to the playoffs under their second-year quarterback, Kenny Pickett. We predict that he will continue to improve and gain a solid connection with Deontay Johnson and George Pickens as they make a playoff push. Their defense has always been solid, and with the additions in free agency and the draft, plus a healthy TJ Watt, they could be a top 10 unit in 2023. The Steelers are looking to win the division and establish themselves once again as a Super Bowl contender, which may be a common theme in this division. Next up, we have the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have long been a powerhouse in the AFC North, and this offseason has proved that they're looking to get back on top. The Ravens' major moves included extending Lamar Jackson, signing Odell Beckham Jr., Nelson Aguilar, Rock Ya-Sin, and Trayvon Mullen. Obviously, the two biggest moves were extending Lamar Jackson to the absolutely massive contract that he deserves, and following that up with signing his good friend Odell Beckham to be one of his top threats behind Mark Andrews in the new Todd Monken-led offense that will focus more on the passing game than the previous regime did. While they lost Ben Powers, Marcus Peters, and Justin Houston, their gains in free agency certainly outweigh the losses. Last year, the Ravens almost beat the Bengals in the playoffs with their backup quarterback in Tyler Huntley, and now they're coming back with a healthy Lamar Jackson and way better weapons. In the draft, they added stud wide receiver Zay Flowers out of Boston College in the first round, who will be an exciting new weapon, mostly out of the slot for Lamar, and versatile linebacker Trenton Simpson out of Clemson in the third round, who was seen as a first-round talent at some points during his college career. In the last round, they selected guard Andrew Voorhees out of USC, who would have gone much higher without an ACL injury, but he could still make an impact on the interior offensive line at some point in the future. Last season, their defense after trading for Roquan Smith was absolutely incredible, with two great safeties in Marcus Williams and Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphrey as a shutdown corner. They also will have David Ojabo coming back from injury, who was their second-round pick last year, who can make an immediate impact in the pass rush. These additions, coupled with the continued excellence of their existing roster, make the Ravens an exciting team to watch this season. However, much will hinge on the performance of their new offensive coaching and the health of their star players if they want to make a deep playoff run. Our third team today is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have been great the last two seasons, making the Super Bowl and the AFC Championship game. This offseason, the Bengals have had a roller coaster of positive and negative moves. They lost their two best starting safeties in Jesse Bates and Von Bell, corner Eli Apple, and tight end Hayden Hurst. But while they lost these key pieces, they are going to be replaced by young players who they hope can play just as well. Daxton Hill is now going to be their starting free safety, and they drafted Jordan Battle out of Alabama to play in the strong safety role. In free agency, they added a long list of talent, including tackle Orlando Brown, safety Nick Scott, tight end Irv Smith Jr., guard Cody Ford, and corner Sidney Jones. Their biggest addition, though, was their new left tackle Orlando Brown, with a huge contract. They addressed needs in the draft by adding edge rusher Miles Murphy in the first round, speedy corner out of Michigan DJ Turner in the second, safety Jordan Battle out of Bama, wide receiver Charlie Jones out of Purdue, and then more depth pieces later in the draft. Their incredible trio of receivers won't be around forever, and Charlie Jones is probably going to have to fill the shoes of Tyler Boyd next season if he were to get traded or sign elsewhere for more money. In a previous video, we predicted the pair of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase would win a pair of awards, and for that to happen, the rest of the core around them, including the defense, would have to step up and allow them to cook on offense. On defense, they have a great linebacking core, highlighted by Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt, a great D-line, and a super young and talented DB room, so there is no reason why this defense can't be great in 2023 and beyond. The Bengals aren't just looking to win the division. They are looking for their first Super Bowl after being so close twice in a row, and it'll take a great team effort along with good coaching to make it happen. Finally, we're focusing on the Cleveland Browns. The Browns have a way better roster than many seem to think, and have probably gotten the least media coverage in the division, despite making some good moves this offseason. They only lost a few pieces this free agency, which were Kareem Hunt and Jadeveon Clowney, who were not huge contributors to begin with, but they gained D-lineman Dalvin Tomlinson, center Ethan Pocic, safety Swan Thornhill and Ronnie McLeod, linebacker Anthony Walker, and edge Okoronkwo. While they did not have a pick until the third round, they made some nice selections, including Cedric Tillman, the wide receiver out of Tennessee with their first pick, D-line Siaki Ika out of Baylor, and tackle DeJuan Jones out of Ohio State. They made two huge trades this offseason, one being for Elijah Moore, who will fit right into the number 2 receiver role behind Amari Cooper, and the other being for Zadarius Smith, which forms a monster pass rush duo between him and Myles Garrett. They still have the best pure runner in football in Nick Chubb, and one of the best offensive line groups with Joe Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin, Ethan Pocic, and Jedrick Wills, with young, talented backups including DeJuan Jones and Luke Whippler, who were added in this draft class. Last season, Deshaun Watson was not who the Browns traded for and paid big time. With a great roster around him, it is all up to Deshaun Watson to turn it around and make the NFL realize how good he is once again after all the drama. This roster is good enough to compete with any around the NFL, and for the Browns to compete in this division, Deshaun must play well once again. And now for our record predictions. In last place, we predict the Browns will end up with a record of 9-8. Our third place prediction goes to the Steelers, finishing with a record of 10-7. In second place, we expect the Ravens to finish with a record of 11-6. Finally, at the top of the AFC North, we predict the Bengals with a record of 12-5. With their recent moves and current roster, they seem to have the edge over the rest of the division for this season and a good chance at a Super Bowl trophy. As a disclaimer, every team in this division is incredibly talented on both offense and defense, and each team has a chance at making the playoffs. And in the NFC, I think that these are all playoff teams. But it'll come down to the wire each week for these teams, as there will be some incredible AFC North battles for many years to come, with all these teams having a bright future with their current roster and coaching staff. Stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you for being a part of our Touchdown Kingdom family. We'll see you in the next one.